Okay, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Can you do confirm you can hear me? Just you can drop a yes in the chat box if you can hear me, please. All right, fantastic. Throne of Grace. Thank you for being here. Welcome to yet another. Thank you. I think I can see a lot of yes in the chat box. Awesome. Thank you. Welcome to yet another fantastic edition, fantastic session where we get to hang you on a lot of secrets, a lot of magic. Because today is this particular session is a short course where you probably, if you don't have any prior experience, if you don't have any knowledge at all in the tech space or anything we're looking out to do tonight, this particular short course will give you a glimpse of what it is. When I say somebody is this, somebody is that, this session is going to give you a glimpse into the type of magic that happens in the tech space. Okay, I'm still going to properly introduce myself tonight. I want you all to just I want you to share where you're joining me from. My name is Prince Adiakoni. Let's say, for example, my name is Prince Adiakoni. I'm joining from Manchester, or my name is Prince Adiakoni. I'm joining from US, or my name is Prince Adiakoni. I'm joining from Lagos, Nigeria. So I want you to drop it in the chat box. I want to see where my people are joining from. We have about 47 people on the call tonight, so I want to see 47 comments. Throne of Grace, Richard, you're joining from UK. Oh, fantastic. So it's a good evening to you. Okay, Nina Ku, I think I've spoken with you before. Nina, I think I've seen that name for the second time. I've come across that name before. That name is pretty unique. So we have a lot of people joining from UK. I have Daisy from Ireland, Patrick from Leeds, Somi Moni. Yes, I think I know Somi. Somi is a very familiar face. You joining from Canada. Nanziwe Mamfosa. Okay, I think I've also seen Nanziwe. I think Nanziwe is a current student that just registered, joining from US. So I think I know my people. Ellen from Lagos, Blessing from Canada, Bumi from Canada, Tatenda from Zimbabwe. I think I've also spoken to Tatenda before. Vega from Lagos. It's fantastic. It's good to have each and every one of you here. Now, even if you don't have any experience at all, or you have any experience in the tech space, trust me, this particular short course is going to give you a better understanding of when we're saying transition into tech, or somebody's telling you, oh, I'm in the tech space, I'm this, I'm that. You'll have a better understanding of what exactly they're getting to talk about or they get to do. Right? Now, I know I have a lot of people that are joining for the second time, third time. Like, for example, me, I can't even count the session he has joined. I think he's currently in the program. I can't even count how many sessions he has joined. So, if you are joining this session for the very first time, like this is your first time ever, you're joining a session like this, I want you to drop a one in the chat box. Then if you are my OG, like Oluwasomi, like Tatenda, like Ninako, I want you to drop your favorite emoji, not any other thing. So if you're joining this session for like the second, third, or you've lost count, I want you to drop your favorite emoji in the chat box. All right, good to have you here today. If you're joining for the first time, you drop your one in the chat. My boys, God, have mercy. I have a lot of OGs in the house. Wow, fantastic. I can't see anyone. I can't see anyone in the chat. Nancy, fantastic. All right, Throne of Grace is also. Daisy is a first timer, but currently a student. Fantastic. All right, Brenda also is not a first timer. Oh, fantastic. So good to have each and every one of you here. So those of you joining for the very first time, you will see that my colleague, fantastic. Nanzue, you're not joining. This is your first time and you've registered already. Fantastic. That's interesting. All right. Tatenda also is joining for the first time. So for everybody joining this session for the first time, you will see my colleague drop a link in the chat box. You will see it as fill the attendance form. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you complete the attendance form because this particular session is currently being recorded And all the magic that my colleague will be doing tonight, every action is going to be recorded, and you'll have opportunity to get this video, this session sent to your email, and you'll be able to watch it and even practicalize everything that she has done. Okay. This slide I'm also going to be using for this particular session. You'll also be getting this slide so you have enough information about everything we must have discussed tonight. So make sure you click on that, fill the attendance form, and so you'll be able to get the video. Now, looking at what we're doing tonight. Tonight, we'll be looking at tracking supply chain performance using a business intelligence tool. That particular business intelligence tool is called Power BI. And we're going to use this Power BI as a tool that many companies get to use, and we're majorly focusing on US and Canada. Okay, but tonight these are the things you get to um these are the things you get to understand and get value from. Now, looking at the company analytics, for those of you joining for the very first time, welcome to Analytics and this particular session. And Analytics is actually a leading tech company. And what we really specialized in is helping people from our background. We've been specialized in this for about like over 5 years now. And what we really do is help individuals, everyday individuals that have zero technical background. We have them transition into the tech space and helping people that have zero technical background land their first job in tech, right? And when we're looking at landing your first job in tech, we have programs that cut across different sectors like the data analytics, the business analysis, the data engineering, data science, financial analysis, HR analytics, the agile project management, and the cybersecurity. And soon to come, we have the AI engineering. Okay. Now we have tons and tons of professionals that are instructors in your classes. These people will be the one impacting knowledge to you in your class, working in different sector in the tech space, and they bring their wealth of experience into your classroom. These are the people that you have in your classes, and they'll be teaching you how to be these professionals that we mentioned. Okay. Now, like I said earlier, this session is going to be a very interesting one. So if, or probably let's say while either myself or my colleague, we are discussing, we are walking you through a particular thing, if you have questions, always drop it in the chat box, or you can always just write your question down. After she's done performing the magic, I will always be here. I will show you how you can get into the program, how you can take advantage of everything we're looking at, the structure you follow to be able to get yourself into the program, and also the discount that is readily available for people that will wait to the end of the program to get the information about that. Okay. So make sure you write your questions down, and I'll be happy to take any questions by the time we are done with the session. Any question at all, we'll be able to take it, right? And speaking with you today, aside from the fact that you can see my name up above here, my name is Prince Adiakoni or Muidin Adiakoni, and I have wealth of experience in data analysis and business analysis, and also as a business intelligence analyst. And I've helped a lot of organizations streamline their business operations to align with their goals and objectives, all right? And I also I've mentored quite a lot of people, over 500 people that have zero background in tech, like absolutely zero. I've been able to mentor over 500, helping them to identify the kind of career path they need to get into and mentor them to get their first job in the tech space, okay? And I have wealth of experience from the ed tech, the finance, the logistics, FMCG, and also in ed tech. And tonight, it is not just going to be only myself, okay? I have my most learned colleague in the person of Amaka, right? She is also going to be here doing the magic, all right? So she's going to show you how to work your magic around Power BI. So make sure that if you've never joined a session like this before and you've never heard about Power BI before, you want to make sure that you complete the attendance form so that everything she must have done, you'll be able to get access to it, watch it, and also practice it. Okay. So make sure you write your questions down, and I'll be happy to take any questions by the time we are done with the session. Any question at all, we'll be able to take it, right? And speaking with you today, aside from the fact that you can see my name up above here, my name is Prince Adiakoni or Muidin Adiakoni, and I have wealth of experience in data analysis and business analysis, and also as a business intelligence analyst. And I've helped a lot of organizations streamline their business operations to align with their goals and objectives, and also be able to practice everything that she has said, she has done. Okay. So my most learned colleague, Amaka. Amaka, are you with me?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, Prince. Can you
Fantastic.
hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, I can hear you. So just like
Great.
I said, Amaka is going to be working magic tonight. Trust me. When I say magic, I mean magic because she's a very fantastic professional that sometimes is a bit heavy for me to say, this is Amaka, she's this is that is heavy because I know her value, I know her worth, and I know how capable of how much of a professional she is. So Amaka, please do me the honors of introducing yourself, please.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Prince. Hello, everyone. So, just like Prince has mentioned, my name is Amaka Daniels. All right. I am a senior data associate here at Analytics. And I have, a lot of experience in data analytics and data science. So I have worked in financial organizations, edtechs, and the rest. And I've helped over 1,000 people transition into tech with no prior background. All right. What we're going to be doing, as Prince said, is magic. All right. So we're going to basically help an organization transform raw data, all right, into meaningful, help them make decisions, basically. All right. So I'm just going to take over from Prince and share my own screen. Okay. So if you can see my screen, please, can you indicate, just give me a thumbs up. If you can see my screen, just give me thumbs up. Fantastic. Amazing. All right. Now on my screen, right, today we're going to be talking about supply chain. Now, before we even carry on, right, if you have any question, please feel free to drop it in the chat box. All right. We're going to be talking about supply chain. Okay. Now, most people tend to confuse supply chain with logistics. Okay. So what is supply chain? You see that process of basically creating a product, moving the product gets to you. That is when you place an order. That is basically supply chain. All right, now I want you to look at the definition I have here. It says it includes everything from getting raw materials, the manufacturing of that product, storing it in a warehouse, transporting it, and then finally delivering it to a customer. That entire process is supply chain. So in short, it's just the journey of of a product from a factory to your own hands if you're ordering it. Okay. Now, instead of you to just guess and maybe rely on spreadsheets, the regular data gotten from several locations, right? What can you do? You can apply the concept of data analytics. All right. What is it going to do? We're going to use data analytics to basically track the performance of maybe products, compare the you have many countries, if you're supplying to many countries, monitor your supplies, all right, to make sure that you don't run out on maybe products. You want to make sure that you also optimize the transportation and then understand demands. All right, so you want to know which product is the highest in demand, which product is the because you don't want to overstock, right? At the same time, you also don't want to understock. So it's not like a customer wants to buy a particular product and it is not available. All right. So if you don't use data analytics, you might not really know, right, which of these things. I mean, you don't know how to track your performance. You don't know what is actually doing well. You don't know the region that is, coming up short. Now, this makes it easier for who? For managers, for supervisors, for CEOs to actually pinpoint, okay, why was there a delay in somewhere like US? Why was there not a delay in Canada? And it also helps them find out the products that are driving the sales, the ones that are making the most products, because profits, right? Because I mean, if some most profits, you want to make sure that you have that in stock, right? But if you don't actually apply data analytics, how would you know which is actually making the most sales? All right. And then eventually it helps them make better decisions. All right. So they don't just wake up and assume, okay, let's just stock up investigate to see if indeed this is the product that is giving them the most sales for them to go ahead and restock. Okay. Now we're going to be using Power BI, right, for this entire project. Now, what is Power BI? Power BI is it basically stands for Power Business Intelligence Tool. All right. So it was developed by Microsoft. So just like if you know Excel, we all know Excel, right? If you know Excel, please give me yes in the chat box. I know Excel, give me yes. You've used Excel before or exactly, right? Excel was created by Microsoft, all right? Your all of those things. Yes. Now, Microsoft decided, okay, why don't we create a software called, that we'll just be using for BI, right? Visualization. Now, what it does is we're going to use it to basically connect to a database. We'll transform the data. We'll go ahead to analyze data from several sources, right? Just to make it insightful and pleasant to the eyes. So it allows us to create a real-time dashboard and also report for data-driven decision making. All right. So now let me move to the next page. I want to ask you a question. When you order something from Amazon, right? What are the steps or the processes before it gets to you? It's not like when you order it, it just magically appears in front of your house. Maybe that is actually what happens, but no, there are actually lots of things that happen in between, right? Before it gets to you. It's not like it just appears. No, there are lots of processes before it gets to you. All right. Now, what are the process? Let's think about Apple. Let's assume that you decide to order the latest iPhone, right? Let's say iPhone 16. Now, when you buy an iPhone, maybe in the US or Canada, what happens? It does not appear, it does not just natural or appear in front of your house, right? First off, they're going to manufacture it. All right. So all the chips and all the like the screens, the batteries, all of those things are supplied by some people. So when they send it to people that will go ahead to couple it, maybe people like maybe suppliers like Foxconn in Asia, right? When they are done coupling it, what then happens? They ship it by air or sea, and then it's taken to a warehouse. Now, when it gets to that warehouse, they will now finally sort it out and deliver it to you. All of this process from the beginning of when they coupled it together, when they bought all the materials like the chip, the screen, the battery, all of those things, the entire process. Apple uses supply chain analytics to make sure that the phones arrive on time. All right. They make sure that they are not spending more than they're expecting to, they're like operational costs. They want to make sure that the customers are not experiencing any form of delay. Imagine you order something and you're expecting it to come in 3 days and it comes in on day 7, right? You'll be pissed. So all of these things, we apply data analytics to make sure that everything is in check. All the processes are in check. Everything is going smoothly the way it is supposed to. Okay. Now, we're going to work on a case study. I mean, at 10 Analytics, we know that we always like to have a scenario that will help us better understand what we're trying to do or what we're talking about. Now, we're going to be working for a company called Apple Hub. Now, Apple Hub is a phone distribution company that basically supplies smartphones across the US and Canada. All right, so they work with multiple suppliers, they put all their products in different ways, and then they have lots of transport, people that they partner with, transport companies they partner with to make sure that they deliver products on time to customers. But now they notice that there's a challenge. All right, now what's the challenge? The challenge is that they're having delays in their delivery. They notice that they're spending too much on transportation, and then they realize that there's a difference in the supplier's performance. All right, so for them to stay competitive, amongst all the other people in the market, they want to find a way to monitor their supply chain performance in real time to make sure that they have data-driven decision. Now, what are we going to do for them? We're going to go ahead to get their data, right? And then we'll put it into Power BI. And in Power BI, we'll be able to go ahead to give them a clear visual dashboard that will help them make informed decisions, will help them identify delivery delays, right? And what might cause it. Then we'll also compare the suppliers to see which of them is more efficient. Remember, they have suppliers. So which supplier is giving us the most, which supplier is, getting our things done in time. All right. Then we want to also track product sales performance across the two countries, the US and Canada. Which particular country is giving us the most revenue? That's what we're going to be doing today. If you're still with me, please give me a 1 in the chat. If you're still with me, please give me a 1 in the chat. Fantastic. Thank you, Choma, Patrick, Zoom user. Fantastic. All right. Now, I know that you might not be able to practice with me, okay, right? But just like my colleague said, Prince has mentioned, you want to make sure that there's a form going on in the chat box, all right? You want to make sure that you fill that so that you get this particular material, okay? So once you get the material, you're going to click on this link here, all right? On this link, you'll be able to download the material the data that I'm going to be working with today, all right? I know, like I said, you won't be working with me, but just make sure you the recording and everything to this particular video. Now, what we're going to try to do is, this is what the data is going to look like. Your regular spreadsheet in Excel, all right? The data, they're giving you things like the shipment dates, did it take for the entire thing to be delivered? What country was it delivered to? What supplier handled this delivery? You know, the model, the quantity that is how many pieces was bought. You will see the unit price, you know, things like that. Okay. So we're going to find a way to transform this entire data. I mean, if you look at this looks boring, right? You might not even really know which particular model is selling the most. We don't know which supplier is doing the most, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to import this data into Power BI, and then we'll finally transform it into this. Okay, we're transforming this so that it looks a lot easier on the eyes. It looks a lot easier for you to explain to your stakeholders, and they're not very tech savvy. Okay, so let's dive straight into it. I'm going to go to Power BI. Now, Power BI is very easy and straightforward to use. All right, very, very easy and straightforward. Now, you can quickly download it in your Microsoft Store on your computer. Everybody has a Microsoft using a Windows laptop. Just go there, search for Power BI Desktop, and you see it. You download it. Very easy. Okay, and it installs. So once you open it up, you go to blank report. Okay, blank report. Now, blank report is like, it's more or less like you're just working with a fresh, think of it like this is a canvas. Maybe you want to draw. This is like a fresh sheet of paper. All right. Now, for me to bring in data, sweet thing is you can connect Power BI to several data sources. If I click on this place that says get data, you see lots of data sources. If I click on more, there are many. This is me scrolling down. There are many, you can see as many data sources. All right. But that file is an Excel workbook. So you want to make sure that whatever you're connecting to Power BI actually corresponds with the file type that you're selecting. Now I want to connect to an Excel workbook. So I just click on Excel workbook and then I click on connect. Now I'll look for the data. I saved it on my desktop. So this is it just hanging here. I'll click on it and open it up. So I'll just wait for that to come up. All right, fantastic. Now this is my data. It's going to give me a preview of the entire thing. All right. Now this process I've just done is extraction. I've extracted the data from a source, from an Excel workbook. All right. Now the next process I'm going to do is transform the data. Now, if I click on transform data, this is going to take me to another interface called the Power Query. Now, Power Query, this is where you go ahead to do some form of transformation, which means if you want to do calculation, you want to maybe clean your data, maybe you have dirty data, you have empty rows, you have a column that's, empty or anything like that. All right. But since this particular data is somewhat clean, I don't have any empties, everything looks fantastic. Just come to the top here, just click on this thing that says close and apply, and just allow it load. It might take a second or two because depending on how large the data is, all right? Okay, so mine has loaded. This data is not very large. So if I come somewhere on the right, you'll see this place where I have data. It says supply chain data. Now, when I expand this, you're going to see the entire data I just brought in. If you want to see a full overview, like what you would see in a spreadsheet, you just come here to table view. Right now, I'm on report view. If you come to table view, you will see the entire data here as well. All right, now you can see that I have the order ID, which represents each of the orders that have come in, right? There's a registered ID. So that when somebody wants to return it, they ask you, okay, what is your order ID? They'll be able to trace that particular order. Then the dates that it was ordered, you have the shipment dates, the delivery days, okay, which was gotten from subtracting the ship dates from the order date. All right, so how long did it take before it got to the customer, basically? Then the country, the supplier, the model, the quantity, unit price. This is everything that we've been given. The revenue that was generated, the delivery status, whether this particular thing was on time, whether it was late. You have the supplier lead time, which is basically how long did it take this supplier to basically put this together before it was sent out. Then you have the transport mode. How did they transport this particular product? Was it by road, by sea? air, and all of that. Then you have the warehouse where it landed, okay, before it was actually shipped out. You can see that this entire thing, right, is recording the process from when it was ordered, the supplier that sent it, when it was shipped out, what warehouse was it shipped to, what time. You can see the entire thing is handling, just recording all the process of, the entire supply chain. Okay, now let's dive straight into it. Okay, so Throne of Grace, your hand is raised. Please drop your question in the chat box, all right? I'll attend to that. Okay, so let me go back to my report view. Remember, I was in my table view now, viewing the entire table. So I'll just come to report view. Okay, and then this is where we're going. Okay, this is where we're going to do the magic. So before I continue, if you're still with me, please give me a 1 in the chat box. If you're with me, please give me 1 in the chat box. Let me be sure I'm still here with you guys. Fantastic. All right, amazing. Okay, again, I know you cannot practice with me, all right? So it will seem as if I'm just doing a lot of things, okay? But if you really need this, please go ahead and, fill in the form in the chat box, all right? Very important. You have access to this material, to the recording, everything, and then you can practice alongside I, all right? Now I'm just going to go ahead and start building my dashboard. So first, one thing I like, entire area looks nice and perfect. So I want to go to my my canvas settings and then change my alignment to middle. This is just a personal preference, all right? You don't have to do this every time that you see a dashboard or you want to build a dashboard. Now I'm going to now start looking at everything. So I want to first of all see how many orders have I gotten so far. All right, how many orders have I gotten so far? To do that, I'm going to use something called the card visual. Card visual just basically shows you a round value. All right, just like what I said, how many orders have we gotten so far? So I'll just click on the card visual. Once I click on it, it's going to come up here. Okay, and then all I do is just come to this place that says order ID. All right, now to see how many orders I've gotten so far, I have to count how many order IDs, right? So I'll just check order ID. And then you can see what is showing me, count of order ID. Now it means that I've gotten 300 orders in total. All right, 300 orders in total. So I'm just going to keep this on the left here. And then the next thing I want to see is what is the total quantity of products that I've sold so far. I'll still use the same card visual because I want to see a total value. So I'll click again to the card visual. I want to keep it on the side here. Now, the sweet thing about Power BI is as you're arranging, it's giving you, like, you can see that there's a red thing just on top while I'm arranging. It's an alignment. Okay, so it helps me align and make sure that I have my visuals equally. Okay, so I have something called quantity here. So once I click, I just come here to quantity. Either I click on it, drag it and drop here, or I just tick the box. Anyone, it works either way. All right, so it's telling me that I've sold a total of 31,000 products, right? I've sold 31,000 phones in total. All right. Now, the next thing I also want to see is the average delivery days. On an average, how long does it take us to deliver the phones to customers? All right. So I'll bring in my card visual again and put it somewhere here. Now I want to see delivery days. This is delivery days. All right. But now this is showing me the sum of delivery days. Remember, what I want to see is the average. Okay, so how do I change that down here? Very easy. There's a drop down arrow here. I'll change this from sum to average. Okay, so it calculates on average what it takes me 6 days to actually, in the entire, all the supplies we've done so far, it's taking us 6 days, right, to go ahead to deliver a product. Now, the next thing I want to see is basically the sum of the revenue. How much did we generate in total? So I'll just go ahead and also bring in the card visual. I'm using card visual because this is the best visual when you're trying to see a total value, basically. So I'll just click on it. Just come here to revenue and check this box. You can see that this company made a total of $23 million, right? Revenue. Would you have known this by merely looking at the data? Of course not, right? But this visual makes it very easy. Now, another thing, I want to go in depth. Instead of just seeing just a total value, let me break it down by other categories. Now, let's assume that I want to see maybe based on country, right? Based on the country. Let me see the country that is giving the most revenue. Now, I have visuals called map visual, right? You have, there are like 4 of them: map, field map, there's shape map, all right? I'll just pick the first one, which is map, the regular map. I want to put it somewhere here. Okay. And then in this map visual, I want to visualize the country. So I'll just tick country. You see how easy it is? Straightforward. Country. And then I want to see the basically total orders. Let me use the orders. So order ID. So order ID, which is the count of orders. I don't think I'll take it again. Okay, fantastic. Now what this is doing is you can see these bubbles. If you look down here, you see some bubbles, right? This bubble, the bigger the bubble, it means the higher the orders from that particular country. You can see that for Canada, the bubble is bigger than for United States. Don't worry, I will still edit this so that you see it better. But this is obvious that Canada had the most order with our phones, right? Instead of United States. Okay. You can see how interesting this is going. Okay. Now let me also do something a lot more interesting. What if I try to visualize this using, this entire data is just for 1 month, which is the month of July. Okay. What if I want to see the day that we had the most order in the organization? I can use a line chart. Very interesting. So I'll just pick the regular line chart, which is this one here. I'll put it somewhere at the top. Okay. And then I want to see, I'll expand my order dates, expand it. There's like an arrow for expansion, just expand it. Then you have this thing that says date hierarchy. Now I want to see the month and the day, okay? The month and the day based on the number of orders. So I'll also check order ID. Now, can you see this? Can you see the trend here? Okay, this is basically, like I said, you would not have seen this by just looking at a spreadsheet. All right. But with this, I can tell this organization that, oh, on the 15th day of July, you had the most order, which is over 18. They had 18 orders. But on 11th, right, they had only 5. On the 30th, they had 6. On the 31st, 6. 19th, they had 5. Right? Can you see how interesting data analytics is? Right? It's just giving you the flow. You can go ahead and this is facts, right? It's not like you're just guessing or you are assuming. This is actually fact. Now let's try something else again. Let's assume that we see based on delivery status. Okay, let's say the number of orders based on delivery status. Now, what do? Let me say I use a normal column chart, this one. Okay. Now I will just come here and check delivery status based on the number of orders. Now, can you see this? Now, delivery status is basically how many orders did we have that were late? How many of them were on time? Can you see this? Now, I can see that based on this bar, without even looking at the numbers, I already know that I had more late orders than on time. So they have to actually do something about this, right? There's a problem here. Why are the deliveries getting there later than on time? Okay. Now let's also try another one. Let's say we see the total revenue by the products, the models that they're selling. Let me use a different chart just to explore. All right, let's say we use a bar chart. Now let's assume I bring in model and then revenue. Okay, model and revenue. All right, now they have a bunch of iPhones here. Okay, they have a lot of iPhones here, but this is just generic. Now, it means that just looking at this bar, you can obviously know that iPhone generating the most revenue here. Can you see? iPhone 14 is generating the most revenue. All right, as opposed to the last one, which is iPhone 22. I don't even know if they have an iPhone 22 now, but well, the point is iPhone 15 or iPhone 14 is giving them the most revenue. Would they have known this without proper analysis? Not really. Okay, can you see how interesting data analytics is? Just applying it to supply chain. All right. Now, just looking at this, I could tell this company that, okay, you're doing well, but maybe you could do better based on your delivery. All right. The United States area is not getting as much order. All right. They have to work on that. All right. The month, towards the end of the month, why are people not coming in to come and buy things? Why are the customers disappearing? Where are they going to? Why are other products like maybe iPhone 22 and 18 and 21 not selling out? What is actually going on? So all of these things, because we have mentioned this, because data analytics to apply to this, right? They can now make sense of what is happening in the organization. Because some people do not even know what is going on in the organization. They just assume that, okay, we're just getting alerts, so we're good to go. And which may not be the case. Okay, they don't even know if products are. They might just go ahead and go and restock iPhone 22 and nobody's buying. All right, so this just makes it, a lot more interesting. Now, I've basically finished most of the analysis here. You can see in split seconds, all right? What I'm going to do is just basic formatting, okay? Again, if you want to follow along with this, please go ahead and fill the attendance form that is being, shared in the chat box. Basic formatting here, just to splash in some colors to make it look nice. So I'll click on the first one, just come in here. I know it's just going to be like magic, but don't worry, it's just because I've been using Power BI for a while, okay? So just basic formatting here and there to make it stand out. Right. Yes, Mike, you can get the data, but just you have to fill in your details, all right? So it'll be sent to you directly. All right, fill in your details in there's a form just moving around there in the chat box. Okay. All right. So just basic formatting to make sure this looks nice. Okay. I'm sure many of us are enjoying this and it looks very nice, right? Yes, Mike, don't worry. As I said, this entire thing is going to be sent to you. Please just go ahead and fill the form. Please fill the form. Please fill the form. Okay, so that we'll get your details and we'll be able to forward this to you. Okay. I'm just going ahead to do the final formatting to just make this look nice. Because I mean, if we're going to give this to stakeholders, we want to make sure that it, stands out, right? And it's looking good. Okay, please go ahead and drop your question in the chat box. What can we do if the data is not clean? Yeah, so that's the area I showed you in Power Query. I mentioned somewhere like Power Query. Okay, you can do some form of cleaning there in Power Query. Any form of cleaning. You can split, you can replace, find and replace, you can delete rows if you have to. Okay, so all your cleaning is going to happen in Power Query, in the place I called Power Query when I was doing transformation. All right, did you get that throne of grace? I hope you got that. Okay. All right. So I'm just arranging to make sure that it looks all good. All right. Now just to also switch up the color. Okay, so I'll click on this. All the formatting that I need to do is in this area that's called Format Visual. Okay, so I'll come to my color value. I don't like to leave this as 45 because I feel like it looks obnoxious. I'll just splash some color to this just to make it stand out. Okay, and I'll do the same for the others as well to make sure everything stands out. All right. Yes. You can see, as Daisy said, please join Analytics to explore this. I promise you it's going to be very interesting. Okay, you're going to learn all of these things. You see the way my hand is just moving with the speed of light, right? This is exactly what you're going to do. Okay. All right. So I'll just reduce this some more. This is just me trying to make sure that everything looks a little bit, if we're going to present this to stakeholders. Okay. So I'm splashing some colors. I'm splashing a lot of colors, so it looks very presentable. Okay, so for the map, I'm going to use a different shade. You can see this shade is a lot more toned down. Okay, it look nicer. For the bubbles, which are like this bubbles here, you can change the size. But for me, I just want to change the color so that it rhymes with the ones I have at the top. You can see that it's taking shape, right? It's looking very nice. Okay. I'm just doing some final touches. Then for my y-axis, I'm just going to turn off everything here. Okay, so I'll turn on my label. And I want to change the color of the bars. Yes, you're going to learn all of these things in class. Everything I'm doing, you're going to learn everything step by step. That's why I said in this moment, you can see the way my hand is moving with speed of light, right? Because I already know what to do. You're going to learn all of these things. We'll teach you everything from like the basic, okay? You'll learn everything from basic. All right. So for this one, I'll also go ahead and turn off the title. Okay, just to make sure that everything looks nice. And turn off my, I'll go to my line, change the color. Okay. All right. You can see that I've given this a revamp, something that we call revamp. You're just taking it from 0 to 100. Okay. Now, another thing I want to add is something called a slicer. Now, what slicer does is it allows you to, go dig deeper into your data. So I want to slice based on the suppliers. It's a visual here in Power BI. Okay. It is somewhere here. This is the slicer here. So I'll just click on it and put it somewhere at the top here. So that when I click on any of the suppliers, I can see exactly how much they contributed to the success of the entire process. All right, so I'll just click on it and then come and look for supplier. All right, and then I'll format this so it looks just as nice. We'll change it to tile. You can see this now. Now, when I click on Foxconn, can you see for Foxconn alone, I'm seeing that there was a total of 82 orders and they sold a total of 8,200 phones. Can you see how in-depth it's looking? They made a total, just Foxconn alone made a total of 6 million. All right. Now I can choose and go to, okay, there's another supplier called Pegatron. How did they actually perform? All right, you can see that for them, they had a total of 81 orders. That is what a slicer does. Then you have TSMC. You can visualize, you can slice. It's just like when you have an orange and then you want to slice a portion of the orange. That's exactly what the slicer is doing here. Okay, you can slice with different options. It's not exactly only supplier, but just make sure that it is there's something we call categorical data. It's not number, it's not numerical. All right. Okay, then I'll just work on my slicer just a little bit. The values and just go ahead to change the background color. Okay, and then I will also change the value color to maybe something white. Okay, you can see just a little bit of formatting here and there to make this look nice. Then finally, every dashboard must have a title. Okay, so I want to make sure I have a title here. So I can either bring in something called the text box somewhere at the top here. Okay, or I bring in a shape, but I'll just use a text box just because it's in front of me. And I'll take it somewhere to the top here. Okay, and then you can just put the name of the company. So the name of the company is Apple Hub. And then I will say this is a overview. All right, general overview. Now you can highlight it and just splash in some colors in here. So I'll still use the same color that we've been using so far. Maybe make it bold and increase the font. Okay, let me try 14. Fantastic. Okay. Now you can see that everything is coming together. All right, you can add anything that you like. Now, this is a fantastic dashboard that you can present to the organization. All right, once they ask you, oh, which particular supplier, maybe Foxconn, how much did they generate in total? They generated a total of $6 million. Okay, so what of Wistron? You can just click on Wistron. They generated a total of 5 million. Okay, which of them has the the highest, which day do they have the highest orders? You can just click on any of them and you give them a result. Okay, now what I've, as Prince said, is not magic. It is just applying data analytics. Okay, so these are some of the things that you'll be learning and many more, right? When you join us here at 10 Analytics. Again, please just go ahead and fill the attendance form, okay, so that you get access to this magic together with me. All right, so thank you very much. I think I'm going to pass this over to Prince. All right, so thank you, everyone. Let me see if I have any questions in the chat box. 1 second. Okay, Avalon says, who will provide this data for the analysis? Okay, so it depends on it's the organization, obviously, that you'll be working with, all right, that will provide this data for you. They can provide a data source or they provide you a spreadsheet, okay? Again, when you join us, you will know all of these things and even more. Okay, is it possible to format the board all at once instead of doing it bits by bit? So because you are answering, so all of these things are answering questions. So it's not like it's an automated process per se, all right? But yes, you can do some form of, picking some formatting from one chart to the other. Very, very possible. Is it possible to get the recording? Yes, Francis, please just go ahead and fill the form and you get the recording. Are we going to learn this in class? Of course, Brandon, you learn this and even more, okay? You want to understand how you source the data. Again, based on the organization will give you access to their data. So you perform all of this magic on them, all right? So I believe I've answered most of the questions in here in the chat. So thank you very much. I hope you all enjoyed the session. If you did, please give me a one. Give me a one in the chat box. Give me a one if you've learned something new. Fantastic. All right. Thank you very much for having me, everyone. So I'll just move this along to Prince. Okay, so thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Amaka. I think I'm going to be dropping in one too, also in the chat because it's actually quite interesting. Thank you so much. And I believe a lot of people, you can see a lot of ones in the chat, meaning they were able to understand and get value. So you will agree with me when I said we are doing magic tonight. For anybody that does not have any technical background before, and you saw the Excel sheet, it has a lot of rows, a lot of numbers. It will be very difficult for any organization to make informed decision based on these a lot of numbers. And that is why you need somebody that has the skill of being using Power BI as a tool to do analysis. Very simple, very straightforward. These are the things you're able to leverage to get yourself into those advantage points. Okay. And these are the things that we get to talk about tonight. We'll talk about how you're able to leverage on everything we offer. Are you able to get into the space 100? Now, when you're looking at getting or getting a job into this space, first question now is going to be, what are the roles? What are the jobs you can apply to that will give you the ability to leverage what you just learned, which is Power BI, leverage what you just learned to see yourself getting a job? What are these jobs? And trust me, tonight we'll be on facing everything. We'll talk about everything to give you a better understanding of which career path you can get into that will have Power BI in it, and you'll be able to leverage everything we must have talked about tonight, and even a lot more. Right now, when you're looking at transitioning, one major important thing that we want to always look out for is you have something you're doing currently, or you're looking to leave that to get into something that is very high in demand or something that has more of security and the future is pretty bright. These are some of the questions that I get to ask myself before I make any sort of significant decisions. And when it comes to transitioning, that is something significant. And before you get to do this, you want to at least know that you have that guarantee of you'll be able to have a clear path into the future where you're looking to get into. And what we did in this regard is we initially went ahead to look at all the major job boards to identify roles that a lot of organizations are looking to hire for. What jobs are people, are companies looking to hire professionals for? We gather this data and we analyze them. We analyze them based on three major criteria. The first one is ease of learning, meaning you could see this easy way, easy approach, easy steps that Amaka just took working on project solving a problem. Is anybody able to learn this? The answer is yes. The ease of transition, meaning after learning something like Power BI and every other thing you get to learn, are you able to transition and get a job with it? The answer has to be yes. Then the third one is, this role you're looking to get into, is it guaranteed to give you a high rewarding salary? The answer also is yes. So after analyzing thousands of jobs, we are only able to arrive at 8 different career paths out of thousands that we've been able to analyze. We're only able to arrive at 8 different career paths you can transition into that will give you this. But tonight, we're talking about just 4 of them, the ones that have Power BI. And we have the business analyst, the data analyst, the financial analyst, and also the HR analyst. Okay, these are the 4 career paths that has Power BI in them, that whatever you get to do in this role, you have the skill to use Power BI for easy analysis, just the same way that Amaka just did. But we didn't stop there. What we further did was we went ahead to seek that. So we have this. So you see everything that we did. This is what we have, like a personal guarantee. We have the assurance that if you go through these programs, you'll be able to meet this criteria that you can see on the screen. But what is that guarantee? External guarantee that, okay, so based on ourselves, on our research, we've been able to come to this guarantee. But what is that external factor that can further give that guarantee that if people transition into this role, it's going to give them that everything that we're talking about. And what we did was we went ahead to seek external validation from the World Economic Forum. And this particular report shows that between 2025 to 2030, there is going to be a lot of jobs that will be created. That is between the next 5 years. We're going to have 170 million jobs created. A total of 170 million jobs will be created in the next 5 years. And also in these next 5 years, a total of 92 million jobs will disappear. That can be shocking if you don't have information of which is going to be created and which is going to be which will disappear in time. And when we further did the analysis according to the report, we're able to see career path that will continue to grow in demand. So if you see the career path on the right side of the screen, these are career paths that are gradually going to dwindle down and reduce in demand. While career path on the left side of my screen, you have career path that will gradually grow in demand, and you have a lot of organization hiring for these roles, majorly between the next 5 years. We have a lot of them. You have the data analyst, you have the business analyst, you also have the data analyst, business analyst, majorly um, roles that has to do with using different technical tools like Power BI and a lot of them. Now, before I move on to even give a better understanding of who these professionals are, I'm going to start with explaining who a data analyst is, then explain the rest of them. Okay. Now, when you're looking at the data analyst, what Amaka just did, this is you analyzing data to give answers. And when you're doing your analysis, you're basically, as a data analyst, you analyze data to help organization make decision. Just the same way you've seen Amaka did, where you have Fortnite or Fortune being able to identify the total revenue they are making, the days of the month that they are selling very well, which of their product is selling very well, which is not selling very well, and how to use this information to their own advantage. This is what a data analyst gets to do. And when you do your analysis, you majorly answer what we call the diagnostics and the descriptive analysis, which is what happened and why did it happen. As a data analyst, this is what you get to do majorly. Now, also as a business analyst, still leveraging Power BI, what you are looking out to now do is a business analyst is that professional who will analyze an organizational data and understand the business process, the systems of operation, and be able to create a solution to improve the business operations. So let's say, for example, this particular data we work with, we're able to see that, oh, so we are looking to improve our delivery system. What exactly are the challenges you are facing in these delivery processes? A data analyst will be able to identify the time taken for delivery processes and according to locations or region. But the process is what a business analyst will get to identify and create a solution to make sure that that process. So if a data analyst is able to analyze data and see that, oh, so an average delivery time for Fortnite is about, let's say, 5 days. A business analyst will get into that 5 days and look at what exactly happens from day one to day five. What are the things that get to happen? And a business analyst will create a solution to this particular process to make sure that that 5 days is reduced to something probably, let's say, same day delivery or 48 hours the max. This is what a business analyst get to do, right? And when you're looking at a financial analyst, these are professionals. I always like to call them the money smart people because what they do majority of the time is they analyze data and be able to use that data to help organizations make smarter financial decisions. So if there is a company looking to invest, you just don't go ahead, dump your money into a particular structure or investment or company. No, you don't do that. you consult a financial analyst, or you have a financial analyst in your organization that will evaluate any sort of analysis, the company, their performance, their customers base, a lot of things, and be able to give you the information on if that particular investment is okay, if that particular financial decision is a good one. So I always like to use the word the money smart tech people. They help make the whole financial dealings way easy and way more productive. This is who a financial analyst is. And for your analysis you get to do, you majorly see yourself using Excel and Power BI for your analysis. Then we have the people's people. This is the HR analyst. These are the professionals that they dive into the organization, but they are more focused on working with people's data. Every organization has people working for it, but not every organization is getting the best out of these people working for it. So how do you get the best out of the people working for your organization? It is simply getting a HR professional, a HR analyst, because these are professionals that will help you make a better understanding of what is going on within your organization, the type of structure, the type of people you have working for you, and create a solution whereby if you're having any sort of challenge, you'll be able to use the people's information, the people's data, analyze it. And just the same way Amaka was able to analyze sales record, you'll be able to analyze what is going on with the people within the organization and give the organization a fantastic decision on how to move ahead. And that's by identifying the problem and creating a solution to it. Okay. So now the big question is now going to be after everything that I've talked about, which one is the best option for you? And if I ask in the chat box, so let me even ask in the chat box, I want like 5 people to just tell me which one do they really think they really want to get into. I want 5 people. So I say 5 because I'm actually going to take note of their response. So which of them do you want to get into? Eva said business analysis. Chakam, I've noted that. Avalon said data analysis. First Lady said business analysis. iPhone said data analytics in healthcare. Omabo said data analytics. Fantastic. So this is what we're going to do. It gets better. So let's not leave these to assumptions and to doubt. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a very quick, short quiz, which is going to look at things you are comfortable with, things, some personal traits that will qualify us if business analysis is the best option, if it's data analyst, if it's financial, if it is human resources. And what we're going to do is you'll have my colleague, they'll drop this particular link in the chat box. I would also be taking the quiz with you so you have be able to see what I'm doing. So they drop this particular link in the chat box. It is going to be a very short period, like a minute or two, where you be able to select based on your personal self, the things you're comfortable with, the things you're not comfortable with. And by the time we are done, we'll be back here with our career. So, like I said, I've noted Eva, business analysis. My boss said data analytics. Let me go back to the chat for record purposes. The Throne of Grace also said data analytics. First Lady is business analysis, and Avalon is data analytics. So I want each and every one of us to go through this particular quiz, or no, to go through this particular quiz and click on the link. So I'm going to have this link shared in the chat box. Why my colleague also share later on. I'm going to drop the link in the chat box. Yes, so that's the link. You want to click on it. Make sure you click on it. I've dropped multiple. So try to click on it. I'm also going to share my screen and show you the quiz as I take it. So make sure you click on that link. Once you click on it, it should show you the quiz page and you'll be able to take the quiz just as I am also taking it. Okay, so I think that is coming up. Fantastic. So you want to click on get started. So just click on get started. We're looking to dive into knowing exactly which of this program is the best option for us. So you asked him for my first name. My name is Morgan. Last name is Adia Connie. Mobile number 06196. My email is clarity@gmail.com, analytics.com. So you want to do the same thing as I'm doing, then we'll be back here with our answers. You also get to see my answer. Okay, so the first question is, how do you feel in a group setting or team discussions? So everybody to their answer. Don't let me say my own answers out. So you also be able to follow your own direction and also give the answer based on the things you're comfortable with, right? So let me say this, thriving. Okay. Okay. Hmm. I'm currently unemployed. Let me say a name. Also going with names and how comfortable are you with the tools like Excel, Google Sheet, or numbers in general? Use it when necessary. You're taking code. I believe everybody is taking it. Just click on that link at the chat box if you are not yet taking it. And once you're done, drop the results in the chat box. Okay? Just drop your results in the chat box. My colleagues also are sharing the link. So you want to make sure you take the link. You take the quiz, okay? I love coding. I don't like coding. I don't know about you. Strategy. Okay, job security. What is most important to you right now? Job security, definitely. I have more than one option. More than flexibility. Next, so what kind of impact do you want to make? I want to data, read and transform, protect information data, and some okay. So he's asking me which of these courses sound appealing to you. I don't know. That's why I'm taking the quiz. So I'll say so many options. I'm confused. Let's see what it gives me. Oh, so I have my own answer. It says, me, I'm a strategist and I'm a business analyst. Okay, awesome. So let me see the answer of every other person in the chat box. If you've gotten your response, what is the career path that is suitable for you based on your kind of person? What are the answers? Do we have the response yet? Do we have the response yet? So Omabo said data analysis. Omabo, I'm going back to your response to see what you said the other time. Ah, that's a jackpot for you, Omabo. First lady said business analyst. Let me see what you said, where you chose the other time. That's another jackpot too. Fantastic. Interesting. So my people know what they want. Interesting. So every other person, I want you to drop your response in the chat box so that I'll be able to we also get to look at what you're looking to get into. Okay, you want to drop your response in the chat box. Let's see what career path is the most suitable for you based on the kind of person that you are. And this will make you understand that based on these questions are asked, you don't need any sort of technical background, calculations, mathematics, or anything coding to be able to get into this space. So Throne of Grace, you have the financial analyst. And if I go back to your previous, you said data analytics. That's interesting. So that will make you understand the connector. Avalon is HR analytics. That's interesting. I'm loving the response. So this is going to give you a little bit of insights too. So you actually have opportunities to get into this space, leverage on this experience that we're talking about, and be able to see yourself actually getting a job in this space, either data analysis, financial analysis, business analysis, or even data analytics, right? You have the opportunity to get into them. And how exactly do you go about getting into this space, getting a job, considering we have a lot of people that have not even heard about Power BI before? So how is it going to be possible for you to see yourself landing a job in this space? And trust me, it is very possible because you have a working formula, a structure that really works. And when you're looking at the structure, what I'm talking about now is this particular structure is your learn, your package, and your apply structure. And what you're meaning on learning, now we have a lot of people that have taken the quiz. You have the financial analyst, you have the data analyst, you have the strategist, which is the business analyst, and the connector, the HR. These are career path you can learn. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you actually learn it. Then after learning it, you want to make sure you package everything you've learned, because packaging now, when we're looking at packaging, it means now you're learning how to revamp your CV to have you represent the kind of person that you are, be either a business analyst or a data analyst, a financial analyst, or even HR analyst. You want to package that, revamp it to be this person. Then you also have your LinkedIn optimized to speak for you to be this professional. Okay, then you have your mentorship where you get to learn on how to do a lot of things that average number of people will not have knowledge on how to get to do them. Then you have preparations on how to attend to interviews, how to answer questions when you get interviewed, and a lot more. Then also having the opportunity to get reference letter, that is a company vouching for you that you're able to do this, you're able to do that, and this is the kind of person that you are on the job. All this are what you classified as packaging yourself. So when you have all this, you want to take them and apply to jobs. You apply to jobs, tailoring your CV to each job you apply to. This structure is what we follow currently, and this structure has landed a lot of people that have zero technical background, so helping them landing six-figure jobs as entry roles in either of these career paths I talked about. And trust me, it's work for everybody that went through the program, making sure that yours is also not a. Now, if you can see on my screen, you have Amaka. Amaka is actually somebody that went through, she's been out of job for over 6 months. She is in Canada and she couldn't land herself even a common interview. She couldn't do that. But when she joined the HR analytics program, Connector, she was able to complete the program in December. And in that same December, she was able to get herself multiple interviews. The only reason why she was able to do this is because she went through the structure that works, the learn, package, the apply. Going through this particular structure does the magic. And she's not limited to just Amaka. We'll have loads of people that have gone through the program and they've been able to land a job. Judith, she has a background in HR back in Nigeria. She transitioned, she relocated to UK, get into the care space. Then she saw that no, this is not something I'm looking to get into or complete my career on. And what she did was she went through the business analysis program. She was able to went through the business analysis program. She learned the program. Then she went ahead to package herself, tailored her CV, joined all mentorship sessions that we hold, and she was able to get multiple interview preparations before getting into any interview. And definitely, she's tend to learn, then tend to apply, start to apply. Initially, she's in UK. She got a job, full remote job in UK, working as a business analyst. Then at the same time, she was able to get herself a job as a business analyst working in US or currently residing in UK. This is possible because she knows where to apply to jobs. She knows how to apply to jobs. She knows how to answer questions when asked during interview, and she has experience to show for her skill. This is the simple way to get you the job. And trust me, if you by the time you get the link to this particular slide, you'll have the opportunity to click over here and listen to what Judith has to say. A lot of people, just like Pavel, also zero technical experience, was able to went through the program. I saw somebody in the chat said they're looking to get into health data analyst or data analyst in the health space, in the healthcare space. That is somebody like Pavel. He has zero background in tech space. He has I think he has a experience as a teacher back then when he was still in his country. Then he went through a data analytics program. He was able to get himself a healthcare data analyst role in US. Okay, so 100% you have ability to get into this space. And when you're looking at the business analysis program, what are the things you get to learn as a business analyst? You have your Excel, Power BI, and SQL. You get to learn this. You get to learn process mapping using tools like Draw.io or Lucidchart. You get to learn how to plan your project initiation planning. You get to learn how to manage a project using the Agile and the Scrum methodology approach for projects. You get to learn software development lifecycle. You learn requirement fundamentals. You learn elicitation, knowing how to ask the right question. You learn how to do this. You learn stakeholder analysis and stakeholder engagement. So for you that took the quiz and you saw that the business analysis is a good part for you, these are the things you get to learn within the program. Then you also learn how to leverage ChatGPT to work efficiently as a business analyst. Then your program, you have the duration of 6 months in class, then you have 2 months internship. Now, this is the duration for all the programs. For all the programs, this is your duration. So the total duration is 8 months. You have 6 months in class training where you go to work on projects. Projects like the one Amaka just walked you through, working on projects, solving real life cases. You get to do this for 6 months. Then when you are done doing this for 6 months, you have 2 months, you get to work on real work cases with our sister company, Amdari, and you have opportunity to have both projects, the one you did for 6 months and the other ones you must have worked on in 2 months. You have ability to add them to your portfolio as a show skill, right? Now, this is the way the program is across board, all over the program. Any of the program looking to get into, this is the same structure that they do follow, right? Also, as a data analyst, you get to learn problem solving because this is what you get to do. You solve organizational problem using data. All right. So you have problem solving, you have Excel, you have SQL, you have Power BI, you have Tableau, you have data storytelling. You learn also how to use ChatGPT to leverage and work efficiently as a data analyst. Then you'll also learn Microsoft Fabric for analytics. Then these are the things you also get to learn as a data analyst. And again, the duration, like I said, cut across board over over the all programs. Now, one thing I feel to mention is for the average salary, because I have a lot of people in here that join from UK, also from US and in Canada. When you're looking at the average salary for a business analyst in UK, you have about fifth average of £53,000. Definitely, you have some organizations that will pay higher than this annually, and you also have some that will pay lower than this. Okay, but the average from our analysis that we've done for a business analyst is around £53,000. For those in Canada, you have about 75,000 Canadian dollars, while those in US, you have about 85,000 US dollars. And when you're looking at the average salary or average income for a data analyst in UK, you have about £40,000, around 40 to 45,000 pounds annually. Then for those in Canada, you have about 70,000, 65 to 70,000. Then for those in US, you have about 75 to 80,000 US dollars for those in US. And when you're looking at the financial analyst now, you also learn problem solving. You have Excel, you have Power BI, you have SQL. So if you see the things you also get to learn, you learn some tools that a data analyst will also learn. Then you learn some other tools that only a financial analyst is able to learn and will open you strictly to working with tools that only financial analyst is able to work in. And you have different tools you get to learn. Now, the average salary for a financial analyst in UK is about £51,000. For those in Canada, is about £70,000. And for those in US, is about 75,000 average salary. So if you see that these roles, despite the fact that you have some organizations that can pay higher, you have some that can also pay lower, but these roles, they are coming with a very sufficient salary. Then the last one for tonight, you have the HR analyst. You have where you get to learn the problem solving, Excel, Power BI, SQL. They learn some other HR efficient performance metric tools like the Orange HRM. You have learn how to perform your performance evaluation. You learn how to do your recruitment tracking automations and so many more. These are things you get to learn within the HR analytics program for 6 months. You get to work on projects for 2 months. Then the average salary for somebody in the HR space in UK is around £48,000 annually. Then for those in Canada, you have about 85,000. Then for those in US, you have about 80,000 US dollars. Now, these are the career path that you are able to transition into and the things you get to learn in this space. And when you're looking at roles you can get to work, you can, as a data analyst, you can work in different roles like the data analyst, the business intelligence analyst, procurement officer, the procurement analyst, supply chain analyst, just that like what Amaka just showed us. You're able to do something like that 100% as a data analyst. And this is going to be you leveraging Power BI. As a business analyst, you have roles that you can easily work in also. Like, remember, a business analyst, that professional that optimize business processes. So you have the business systems processes, business process improvement analyst, process analyst, business analyst, operations analyst, and so many more. Even the change management analyst, you have ability to get into this role by the time you are done with the business analysis program. So what this is going to really show you is by the time you are done with the training, you are not hard coded to. So let's say you went for the data analytics program. The only job you can apply to, or the only job title you can apply to is one that says data analyst. No, that is not the case, right? So going through the program will make you understand the roles you're able to apply to and roles you're able to work in 100%. As a financial analyst, you have ability to work in some roles as a data analyst. Also, as an HR analyst, you have the ability and the skill to work in some roles as also a data analyst, all right? So these are some of the things that you also get, coupled with every other thing that you'll be getting from the training. And by the time you're done, considering the fact that you have your 6 months with Analytics and you have your 2 month internship with Dari, you have the ability to have both companies to your CV. And when you add both companies to your CV, you have the ability 100% to get reference letter from these two organizations. Okay. So these are some of the things you get to get value from. Now, you see everything I've talked about, all the key learning areas that I've mentioned, I've talked about, all those things, they are just 50% of what we tend to offer you. The other 50% is what we call the employability. The employability is going to more or less like weaponize your technical skills. So let's say, for example, you have a skill as good as Amaka. She's very good. You're very good now. You know how to use your Power BI. You know how to do your analysis. In no time, you're very done. How does this skill how does it transition to, how does it translate to getting you a job? Because I believe that's why most of us are here to get a job. So how does the skill you have now, how does it transition to getting you a job? And to do that is pretty simple. I mentioned a little bit about that earlier, which is the first thing is you revamp your CV because your CV will get to a job before you even get there. Your CV will get there before you. So having a proper representative of yourself or proper representation of yourself is the first thing you want to do. Then you want to have your LinkedIn to match that representation. Your CV is telling you you're saying you're a business analyst, but your LinkedIn is saying you're a customer service agent. It does not really match. So you want to make sure you have a LinkedIn that really speaks as a business analyst. And also, there's also a limit to jobs you can apply to just using your CV. So having your LinkedIn optimized will open you to opportunities to get organizations, hiring managers, get to you, reach out to you and see you if you're available to work with them. That is because your LinkedIn has been optimized and it properly showcase your skills and the value you bring into any organization you get to work in, right? Then you also have what we call navigating the job market, when you learn how to navigate the job market to get the jobs that you need. Also, in this navigating the job market, we have sessions where we bring jobs to your classes and we have them you apply to these jobs. These are jobs that you will never find on any job board. because these jobs, they are from premium job boards that we're paid to. We pay the subscription every month, and we have these jobs. We bring them to you. These are unique jobs, and you have ability to apply to these jobs without paying anybody anything. These jobs are added to your classroom every Monday. Okay. Then definitely when you provide all these things, the least we expect is for you to get called for an interview. And when you get called for an interview, the immediate thing you want to do is you want to make sure you book for an interview preparation session, which you have access to 100%. So you get ability to book a session every time you get into an interview. So if you have, let's say you have 3 interviews in a week, have ability to get a professional to come in one-on-one session with you 3 times or even much more to prepare you for that role you're looking to get into. And definitely when you get a job, we offer a reference letter. You also have what we call on-the-job support. This is majorly because we've had people that are going through the training and they've been able to land a job on the training whilst they're in training. So let's say, for example, you're going through the data analytics program, like 3 months into your training or 4 months into your training, you're able to land a job. You don't have all the knowledge yet, but you have way more than half. That way, and let's say you've gotten your job, you're working on a job, and all of a sudden they ask you to do some things that you literally don't know how to go about it. You have ability to reach out back to us and get somebody to help come on board with you and guide you through these processes on the job support. Then definitely you get access to what we call weekly mentorship sessions. Get that? That happens every week, and you have access to that even after your training. Then for those looking to upskill to offer their services on more like a freelance approach, you have ability to learn how to optimize your link Upwork to be able to facilitate that opportunity for you. Now, for those looking to start, take advantage of this particular program that we're taking or value that we're bringing. Your class, the next cohort is starting by 6th of September. Okay, you have ability to get on board and join a class starting by 6th of September. And what is going to actually cost you to be part of this is the cost for the program is actually 1,000 US dollars. That's the price. But before now, for people that are not new, that are not my OGs, the people that are not joining session, or some of them that are in the program already, you agree with me that that price that you used to know is 750. But currently, right now, the price is 800. So you want to make sure you take advantage of this particular price and secure a spot, your 20% discounted slots. Now, this 20% is only available to the first 20 people. And very soon, probably move from 20% to 15%. So you want to make sure you go as much as possible to secure a spot and join the class starting by September. Now, you see the 800 US dollars, you have the ability to pay in installment. Okay, making it very easy for you to make your payment. So if you have the opportunity to break that 800 and pay up to 5 times. And you paying up to 5 times is going to have you pay 160 US dollars every month for 5 months. Okay. You have my colleague drop the link in the chat box. So you want to make sure that you click on that. This will give you the opportunity to go ahead to secure your spot and join the cohort starting by 6th of September. I'm also going to walk you through how to secure a spot now. So you'll be able to actually see me do it, then take advantage of what I'm looking at, what we're looking to do. Okay, so let me stop sharing this and show you how to secure a spot. So if you click on that link that my colleague dropped in the chat box, it should bring you to this. Let me make sure it's showing. It should bring you to this enrollment center. Yes. It says yes. So if you click on that particular link, it should bring you to what you can see on my screen right now. It should bring you to this website. So and if the first thing you will see is you will see 20% discount for the September cohort. And over here, you will see that's the top right corner. You will see the time, the offer, the duration of this particular discount, which ends in about 1 day and 3 hours. So you want to make sure you don't miss out on this discount, because once this countdown stops, the discount is over. So you want to make sure you take advantage. Remember, those that joined way earlier than now, they didn't pay 800, rather they pay 700. That will make you understand that the discount does not last forever. And by the time the discount is over, instead of you being able to pay 800, you will be paying 1,000 US dollars. So what you want to do is when you click on that particular link, it will bring you to this website where you have all the programs. You have the data analytics, the business analysis, the financial analysis, and any of the program that we're looking to register for. But then what you want to do, so let's say we want to click on the data analytics program. So if you click on that, it will show you that you have the ability to make your payment 1,000 US dollars. So what you want to do is you can either click on the enroll now, or you can scroll down to see everything in details, what you'll be learning. Everything in details, very well detailed. You see things you get to learn. You also get to see your instructor that will be teaching you. You have a marker, the person that was earlier, my most senior colleague. She will be also be in your classes teaching you as alongside our other most senior colleagues that will be teaching you. Then you see the rules you're able to apply to. Then what you want to do is, as you can see the price here, you see the price is 1,000 US dollars. But once you click on enroll now, you have the opportunity to actually register. So what you want to do is you want to um, click on, you want to sign up in your own case, but in my own case, I already have an account, so I'll just sign in. But in your own case, you want to make sure you sign up to the account. Then you want to select the payment plan that works for you. So this particular discount, like you can see, you have the September and you have the October. Okay, so you want to make sure you select the option that works best for you. So let's say, for example, you're selecting the September, the class in September starts by 6th of September. And for the October, the class starts by 4th of October. Or we're looking at starting 6th of September. You want to come down, select the payment plan that works for you. Okay, so in this particular case, remember the discount is 20% discount. But right now we are still seeing equivalent of 1,000. Okay, so once you click on, let's say we are selecting the 5 instrumental payment, you want to now click on apply discount. Okay, so once you click on apply discount, you will see it processing your discount, and over here you will be able to see the snapshot of 20% discount automatically applied. You have your details here, which you must have input. Then you see the payment plan. You see that your price is 800 and you'll be able to pay in installments. So what you want to do is you want to just click on confirm. You want to confirm the information is correct. You want to make sure you read the terms and conditions. Then you also want to make sure you confirm that after reading, then you pay for the product. Okay. So by doing this, automatically you will get your program allocated to you and you have the ability to get into the program without losing out on the discount. Okay, so this is how you secure a spot and make payment while you still have the opportunity to take advantage of the discount. Okay, so if anybody have questions, I'm happy to take any questions while I walk you through the remaining part of the slide. So if you have questions, you might want to just drop it in the chat box, or you might just want to use the raise hand icon or ask to unmute, and I'll be able to unmute you to speak. Now, by the time you're done with your training, 100% you'll be getting a certificate. And your certificate is actually accredited by American Council of Training and Development, which you'll be getting after your training. You also be getting knowledge on how to build a dashboard, how to add projects to your portfolios, both the project you worked on during class and the one you must have worked on during your internship. Okay, so if anybody have questions, Yes, 100%. So your courses, your classes, they are 100% online. Both your classes, I'm asking Samsung S90 9008B or something. Your classes are 100% online and you have the ability to join your live interactive class. So just like this is live and interactive, you have ability to join the live interactive class, learn, but it's not just 100% online. It's not 100% live class. You have a live class, 50%, and you have your self-paced also, which is 50%, meaning you're not limited to learning only when you come into class, and you're not limited to learning only by you watching your videos. You have a blended approach of learning. Okay. Right. So do I have questions that or is there any question that was left unanswered? I think every other question was answered by Amaka after our session. Nancy said, I'm going to be a data analyst. Fantastic. So if you have questions, you might want to drop in the chat box so that I'll be able to get to it. That's in case I miss it. Okay, Jeremiah Elizabeth said, please, I've reached out, but I've not been contacted yet on the way forward. Okay, I think my colleague has replied you in that regards, and they will get onto it, okay? Right. How do I get the data place? So if you're joining for the first time, so Samsung said how many lessons in a week? So you have your live classes every other Saturday. So that means in a month you have 4 Saturdays. 2 Saturdays you're going to be working on in class, your live instructor led, and the other 2 Saturdays you have what we call a drop-in session. And your drop-in session, another name for that is a troubleshooting class. So meaning while you're in your live class on Saturday, after your class, you work on project. During the week also, starting from Monday, you have what we call a self-paced. So let me go to one of the programs and use as an example. You have your self-paced, which is a watch me do it video, which is on your learning management system. You have access to this all week. Okay, so let's say during your class, you practice everything being taught just like Maka just did. Then you also watch your videos, your self-paced videos. But while you're watching it, you have challenges. This challenge, you have three options. Either you go back to the video to watch it to be able to get understanding of the process or the step the instructor must have taken that you missed, or you have a direct access to people like Amaka, where you're having challenges, you have ability to call her immediately and get answers to your sort of challenge you're having. Or you bring your challenge into what we call a drop-in session, where you have ability to share your screen. So you see, I'm able to share my screen and show you what I'm talking about. You also have the ability to share your screen in a drop-in session, and you have your instructor see what you're doing, see the mistakes you might be making, and he or she will be able to guide you to solve these problems for you. Okay, so these are the ways your classes are structured for the week and for the month. All right, and you have this for 6 months. Right. Okay. Do I have questions? Any questions before we end the sessions for the night? Is there any question that anybody do have? Or if you want to speak, you can easily indicate and I will ask you to unmute. If you want to speak, you can also do that. I'll be able to ask you to unmute so you can get to actually speak if that will be okay with you. Okay. And also, for those of us that might be confused, we don't know if this or that is the best option. So we have the business analysis, we have the data analysis, we have the HR, we have the financial analyst. We don't know which is the best option for you. So this is going to be my advice. Take advantage of the 20% discount, register. Then after your registration, request that you need to speak with a professional, right? We have a clarity session that happens every day where you'll be able to get into, and the professional, you have either myself or some of my other colleagues, you get to look at where you're coming from, the things you've done, your work experience, and your transferable skills. We're able to look at everything, then advise you on which career path is the best option for you. But this is 100% possible. But what you want to make sure you do is remember the discount is only available for the next one day and I think 3 hours. Take advantage of that, secure your spot, and indicate that you want to speak with a professional. So let's say you made payments using the data analytics, and after the clarity session, we're able to conclude that, oh no, data analyst is not the best option for you. Rather, it is data science or data engineering or cybersecurity. 100%, we have ability to switch you from the back end and switch you to another program easily, right? But most importantly, you want to make sure you're able to secure that spot and make sure you don't end up, instead of you paying 800, that's 160 every month, you don't end up paying 1,000 US dollars. Okay. So make sure you secure a spot. And if you have questions, you always have either myself. Oh, fantastic. So let me show you. You can also pay in pounds. So let me show you how much you get to pay in pounds. But if you click on that particular link, this is going to Gochuku. So instead of me showing you, or rather you click on that particular link just above your comment and select the program, you will be able to see the exact amount you get to pay in pounds because the website is actually the website actually is geo tagged, meaning wherever you're joining from, you have the ability to pay directly from the location, the currency of it. So if you're joining from Africa, if you're joining from Nigeria, you have ability to pay in Naira. If you're joining from if you're joining from if you're joining from Europe, you have ability to pay in euros. Wherever you're joining from, you have the ability to pay in that particular country's currency. Okay, so click on that link, and this will give you the ability. But I'm also going to share my screen and show you how to pay in pounds. Okay, so if you click on, let me scroll back up. So if you click on, oh, okay, I think it's we want to log in again. Okay, fantastic. So if you click on September, you could see that the price is in pounds. So you have ability to select the payment plan that works for you. Also, if you select the most convenient for most people, if you select the 5 installment and you click on apply discount, you will see that it's going to give you 20% discount and you get to pay 131 pounds every month for 5 months. Okay. So if you click on that particular link, you'll be able to see this thing that I'm showing you, right? The most important thing is make sure you don't lose out on the discount and you get that as soon as possible. If you have questions, we are always here to take your questions. Okay. Do you have any other questions before we end it the night for the night? Any questions? Any further questions? Or are we good? Right, I think we're good. We are very good for the night then. So thank you to each and every one of you for being here. We spent about 1 hour, 42 minutes on this session. And trust me, I believe the magic that happened earlier was very interesting. So make sure you come, if for you joining the session for the first time and all these things is totally new to you, make sure you complete the attendance form. So you'll be able to get the video, you get to watch it and you have a better understanding. Also, you get a video, so you get guidance on how to make your payment. Also, you're getting the link. So everything, I think this is going to Avalon. So everything you will need for your program, let's say for the data analytics program, all the tools you will need to install, you will get everything provided for you. All the tools you get in it. So far, preferably you're using a Windows laptop, which you get access to. You even get videos that you will get to watch that will guide you on how to install them. Aside from the fact that we provide you resources from where to download them, we also provide videos guide you on how to install these tools on your laptop. So Gochuku said, if I want to start in October, yes, 100%. So if you're looking to start in October, that is going to be early bird discount for you. And you even get yourself a 25% discount instead of 20% discount to go through. So that's because you're not looking to, this is August, we're still in August, but you're looking to make payments to start in October. That is way early. So in that case, you will be getting yourself a 25% discount instead of 20% discount. Okay. So you want to make sure you do that as soon as possible before the 25% discount disappears to be 20 to 20% and even lower than that. Right. Okay, so I believe I've been able to answer everybody's questions. Or do you have any further question before I take my leave? Do you have any further questions that I'm here to attend to? Okay, so at the absence of any further questions, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being here. I do appreciate each and every one of you. And I'll be looking forward to see each and every one of you in class when it starts by September, 6th of September, or if you're like Gochuku, you're looking to start by October, 4th of October, you want to make sure you secure your spots and don't miss out on that discount, okay? Thank you for being here, and I'll be looking forward to see each and every one of you in class as soon as possible, right? Cheers and bye for now.